here at the home of Rich and Lynn Garofalo, and joining me is Roger Runge with Garden Design Associates, and we are looking at one of their homes here that's on the OHS Garden Tour of Connoisseurs, and this home is just beautiful.
Isn't it great?
You guys have been helping with this landscape for about 10 years now, correct?
Right.
And you've installed some beautiful trees. Can you tell us about this ash here?
This is the urbanite ash, and it's a great tree. I mean, it's a beautiful tree.
Yes, it is.
And really just no problems, no diseases, no pests here in Oklahoma. So it's a tree that we'd really like to see used a little bit more in Oklahoma City.
And it's got kind of a silvery underleaf, and so
right,
it's
so
nice
the wind,
seeing that contrast. Yeah.
Since wind is a constant in Oklahoma, plant a tree that takes advantage of that.
Excellent. So let's go around the corner here because we want to go to the backyard. It's like an amazing little secret garden back here.
It really is.
And
it opens up.
The OHS tour is an opportunity to get to see some of these secret gardens. So going through this, you know, this path is a beautiful tumbled stone path, and it just leads your eye right into this secret garden.
It just invites you in. The path draws you in, and it's not a clear shot. You see little glimpses of areas that you want to explore as you walk further in.
You have a nice blend of structure in the plants as well as some herbaceous plants. Can you kind of talk about the design here?
Well, a lot of it centers around a lot of native oaks that were here first. And of course they're deciduous, so a lot of evergreens were added. The magnolias give us year-round evergreen. A lot of boxwoods for evergreen. A lot of the hollies are evergreen, the arborvitaes. So there's a variety of shades of green, textures of green, different leaf sizes. There's shiny leaves, big leaves, little leaves, soft foliage. It really gives a year-round interest. So when the leaves fall on the trees, you still have a lot of green and you have a lot of structure.
And one of the things the homeowner wanted was to expand their living space or their entertainment space, correct?
Right. So we've got this great covered terrace here, and then this arbor was added later on with a grill. You can see it's just a great inviting spot to relax with friends and family. The roses and akebia vine keep it shady during the summer. The ceiling fan adds a little comfort to it as well.
It's a beautiful structure, and I can only imagine the entertainment that goes on out here. And of course, we always need water in a garden.
The sound, you can hear it from just about anywhere in the garden, and it really is relaxing. And the sound draws you in as well. You know, you want to find out where that sound is coming from.
I love this little ginkgo that you have here behind it.
Isn't that beautiful? It's a variety called chi-chi. And of course, ginkgos, the leaves are beautiful, and then when they turn yellow in the fall, it's just stunning.
Yes, yeah. You know what's neat about this is you've combined your natural oaks with some unique trees. I mean, you have a lot of Japanese maples, you have magnolias, and of course the ginkgo. As we go up in here to the woodland garden, I guess is what you would call it.
Right, romantic woodland garden.
It's very formal. You've got a lot of trimmed boxwoods, but it's also mixed with some more loose plants.
Right, it is. And you know, really when you look around, there aren't that many unusual plants. A lot of them are pretty common that you see in a lot of gardens, but the way they've been placed and the way they've been worked into the landscape gives them some character and makes it a little different.
And I love the detail, you know, having some of the little finds, you know, when you're going through the garden, you have something to discover.
And this one's great because he's seen some life. He's kind of repaired. He's got some character and some age. There's some lichens starting to grow on top of him.
And we love that. And you've got some grapevines that they were kind of taken over.
There's still some growing, but they were getting a little too aggressive. But the grapevines themselves are such a beautiful structural element that even though they've been eliminated, the vine itself is still here to give us some visual structure.
That's something you can't design.
No.
You just take advantage of it when it's here,
take advantage of it, yes.
And I love this little hiding spot. I believe they do their composting back there, and they have some
Every
leftover
gardener
stuff.
has to have a messy area, and Rich, being the handyman that he is, put this in so they can hide all the, the nuts and bolts of the garden that you don't want to see on a daily basis.
Because they are gardeners, so they're constantly pulling out their tools and that sort of stuff. Now, as we walk through here, we've got a lot of hostas and some hydrangeas. I love hydrangeas because you get so much bloom out of them.
You do, and you get interest. To me, they're interesting year-round.
Right.
I like them when they're bare and the sticks in the winter, especially when you have them backed with the evergreens of the hollies, the hollies and the boxwoods.
And the Carria always has a nice display, even when it's, you know, later in the winter.
But it's so airy and so loose and airy. Kind of a real counterpoint to the clipped boxwoods.
Now, as we've come up here, we're on a different path. Again, it's a little bit looser feeling. It's got this crushed granite or screenings,
Right.
which gives it a little bit more of a natural feel, like you're walking through the woods.
Right. But isn't even the sound of your footsteps on the crushed granite, isn't that a nice sound?
It's nice. And what I love about this garden is you don't know you're in a neighborhood.
Right.
You really,
right.
you've done well screening the neighbors and that sort of stuff. I mean, I could think
it really is a private oasis.
It is beautiful. So I love the diversity of plants that are in here. You see some that are very formal, you see some that are very loose, you see some that are the aster, which is typically kind of a prairie plant,
right,
but mixed with sedums and junipers. Can you speak to the variety that's in here?
Well, again, I mean, Rich and Lynn are gardeners, so they like to play with plants. They like to experiment with plants. One of my favorite plants that they've used is the Japanese roof iris. It's kind of unusual because it's a shade-loving iris, and it does have a beautiful bloom, but the foliage itself, that kind of arching, low foliage, is really, I think, the showstopper on that plant.
It makes a great texture throughout the season. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Roger, so much for sharing
Casey.
your design here in this garden. And I know that a lot of hard work has gone into this garden. It definitely shows.
Well, thank you.
We have only provided a small sample of the beautiful gardens that you will experience on this year's tour. You can find more information about the tour, descriptions of the homes, and ticket locations on the Oklahoma Horticultural Society's website, ok-hort.org. We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.